All right. Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the CBL News Anchor Desk. My name is Skeletal Stevo
Wolfie.
with
Whip, whip, which way am I looking? Yeah, welcome in, everybody. So, we're going to be looking at Steve, the teams.
Very good, very good.
The
Now,
teams.
I know that this year we've had a few change-ups since our last couple of leagues that we've happened to do. Granted, we weren't in this fancy studio that you created here.
I
Very,
know.
very
I know,
nice.
it's very, what should it? Where's the
Yeah,
thing?
I know,
Where's
right?
the,
Leather
where's that
seats
shit?
and everything.
Yeah.
I'm
You've
just
got the
saying.
nice banners.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Those would go good for hanging up in my restroom. That'd be
yeah, yeah,
beautiful. Dry
yeah,
my hands off and everything.
yeah. You've even got the tattered edges for when you wipe your ass. Um,
Oh, spicy. Okay.
so, best team. Shall we just get the teams up? All 10 teams, because 10 teams in the league, isn't they? So shall we
Yeah,
just get all the teams up and we'll just share everybody the teams and then we can sort of go through them one by one. So
sounds like a good strategy there, Wolfie.
um, please bear with me.
Oh, fuck's sake. This is not my kids. It's damn technical difficulty.
There we go. Hey, sorry,
Hey, we're back. All right.
we don't have an expensive newscasting crew to help us out. It's just us two and Mouse. Um,
Well, I mean, technically, you've got like a hobgoblin and some type of Amazon living in your place, to help you behind the scenes,
yeah,
and
a
I
skink
brought
and an
over,
Amazon. Yeah.
and I brought over friggin' two little snotlings that don't know how to tie their shoes. So, I mean, we're pretty much going to have technical difficulties for a hot minute.
So, right, first upon the list is the Deadwind team by Shadow Lord,
Ooh.
which
Now, I've
is,
heard from the grapevine that they're coming from the grave to get the cut. This,
yeah. So, shall we have a look at the team? So, there we have it. The team Undead
ooh,
is,
very nice.
and there's the team. So, we have two mummies, two whites, two ghouls, two zombies, three skeletons, with three rerolls, one cheerleader, one farm factor, one coach assistant, and obviously the standard necromancer that comes with an undead team. Uh, what do you reckon, Steve? Strong team?
Um, to me, it looks like when it comes to teammates, he likes everything in at least twos.
Mm.
And as far as the extra benefits, like the aside from the reroll being three, because I'm guessing he's worried that he's going to be needing that. He is a newer coach, from what I understand, but he likes to put his points everywhere across the board. I mean, how do you feel about three rerolls and one for everything else for extras?
Um, I think he's got a good balance actually. Because he's got what I would predict is probably some of the best big guys in the game. With the mummies, because I don't see mummies having negatives because they don't have a really stupid role, they don't have a wild animal. They are just simply the go, go, and go, and go, and go. Yeah, all right. Low on agility, they're low on movement, but let's face it, most big guys usually stay on the line and punch. So arguably the best big guys in the game, in my opinion. Um, he's got a bit of block, got a bit of dodge, and then he's got some cheap liners to just basically throw in there, and if they get killed, they're not hard to replace. So, three rerolls, it's a pretty solid team.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, who knows with this Kimry team? I mean, they're very ancient. They could have possibilities of hardships of not picking up the ball, throwing the ball. I mean, those bones are brittle, but they have been around a long time.
They have. They have. So, and that's your lad as well, isn't it? So,
Yeah, yeah. Actually, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, as they say, but around here we just drop sausages. So, uh,
so
yeah, he likes bashy teams. I know that in previous editions of our league, he has tried orcs, and I
yeah.
believe didn't he try lizardmen at one time, I think?
I don't think that was
Or
in
maybe
the
he was
league, but it was in the. He did do some when he was testing out teams when he before he joined the first league with us. He was trying out Lizardmen. Yeah. I don't know if that was down to because my lad was playing Lizardmen, or not, but he does seem to prefer lean heavier on the bashy teams than the more skillful teams, shall we say?
okay. Okay.
Uh, right.
So who else do we have in the lineup?
We'll skip the next one along because that's me, and we'll come to that towards the end. So the next one is Chaos Dwarfs with a team called Most Kills in the Season, which is Coach Deadman.
Spicy name
Yeah,
for a very spicy coach.
and if it's not dead, it's not right.
That's true. That's very true.
So with Deadman's team, we have two Bull Centaurs with that lovely movement of 6, and I believe it's Sprint.
Strength 4.
Uh, yep, and Sprint as well. Sprint and Sherpy.
That's
Strength 4.
dangerous.
Um,
Yeah.
two. No, sorry. One, two, three, four, five, 6 Curse Dwarf blockers, all with block and tackle. 6 Curse Dwarf blockers, 4 Hobgoblins, 2 Bull Centaurs, and 2 Team Rerolls. Um, fair amount of block and tackle. A lot of thick skull in there. Interesting. It's not a team I've played a lot, so but I know it's a team that you've been interested in playing, at least for
Yeah,
tabletop.
I saw that the new team of the Chaos Dwarfs come out, and I was quite curious about them, and I thought I'd give them a chance. I tried to play around with them one or two games on Blood Bowl 2 before making my final pick. I decided not to go with them only um, because of my unfamiliarity with them.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's not to say that the team isn't strong. I mean, those Bull Centaurs with their high movement and strength 4, all they need is block, and they're going to be pretty much unstoppable in my opinion.
yeah. Especially with that sprint and sure feet on them. You're gaining what an extra rush or going for it if you depending on which Blood Bowl system you're playing. Um, so just having that one extra, so they've basically gone from a 6 with 2 going for it, so 2 rushes, to 3 rushes are going for it. So it makes them potentially movement 9. So
I
they,
mean, you're talking gutter runner style base stats,
yeah,
but with better stats. It's not going to have the max out speed as a gutter runner, no, but it's definitely going to have all those extra fixings that are
yeah,
going to make it very tough at the very beginning.
yeah. Being able to drop back, take out players to pick the ball up, or even just run the ball up the field as your ball carriers. It just depends on how Deadman lays them out.
Very true. Now, one last thing. Seeing as we are familiar with dwarves, and there happens to be chaos dwarves on this side,
Mm.
what is the likelihood of those centaurs making those rushes? And with him only having 2 rerolls, can we see that being burned up pretty quickly in your eyes?
Probably not because he's got sure feet.
Ah, okay.
So sure feet allows you to reroll. a failed rush without using the team reroll. So he's not going to be 100% foolproof, but it does give a really good combination and a higher chance of successes. Sorry, when going for it.
So we're thinking here fast and beefy for Dead Man's pick.
Yeah, very, very much so. I mean, he's got armor values, nines pretty much across the board, except for his hobgoblins. And I will say, hobgoblins are probably some of my favorite goblins out of all the goblins that are available.
Is that aesthetically or play wise?
I think it's more aesthetically, but because on average they're probably not much different to another goblin, but because of the way they look, they seem to play better.
That's very true.
I know that sounds daft, but you know, it's like when you
Yeah.
buy those shiny, expensive boots and you just know you're gonna play better in them. That's a hobgoblin.
Oh my goodness. Let's go to the next team.
So next team we have in the list is the Cold Ones
Ooh, getting a little
by
chilly in here.
Foxy.
Little cold-blooded situations here.
My lad's
Now,
Lizardman team.
now, if I'm not mistaken, your boy, he really has a liking to that lizardman side of things.
He certainly does. He certainly does.
Let's take a look at the roster.
So we have one Croxigar, 6 sources, and 4 skinks with 2 rerolls.
Oof, that is a hard-hitting line. I mean, 6 sources with being able to afford a croc cigar and 2 rerolls. I mean, that's big for Lizardman.
Yeah, he's far good the apothecary. But it does have 2 in Vampata, so it could help him regain that important early cash to be able to get to that one apothecary. So as soon as he gets that apothecary, he starts getting some skills on there, as we saw the first season we did, which was the League of Dreams. My lad walked away with it. He won the league, so I'm not going to rule him out, but I also know that his luck doesn't always stay with him either. So
that's Bloodbowl. Everything's a risk on the roll.
yeah.
Now, with that being said, with the small amount of skinks that he has, and only 2 rerolls, do you think that people are going to go for those skinks? I mean, naturally we do anyway, but with the slow, or I'm sorry, with the fewest number of skinks that we've seen typically in a Lizardman team, do you think that this might be a small Achilles heel for the team going against him, for him going against the team? Because I mean, you rely on the skinks to do your dodges, to pick up the balls half the time,
Yes, you
and
do.
to get your scoring. So having such a few number and only 2 rerolls, it's going to make things a little dicey, especially without a apothecary.
Very much so. He is going to rely heavily on those 4 skinks for the early games. It just depends. I would say it depends on how well he can protect him, because with having such a strong front line, it's got 6 players with strength 4, all movement 6, and the Croxigar with strength 5, movement 6. That is some hard line to get past. So it is a risk only having 4 skinks, but if he gets a couple of early wins in the season and gets that cash rolling in, it could end up getting his apothecary and then a few more skinks being the lower costs.
Very true. That tough line that you were mentioning earlier, I mean, those strength 4s are nothing to joke about. I mean, one of those sources alone against a strength 3, you're automatically getting 2 dice, so the odds are in his favor to, at least if nothing else, bash some skulls into the ground
Yeah,
and get that SPP.
yeah, definitely. It's gonna be an interesting. I think he could be a contender, but we'll see. It all depends on how his luck lasts.
Speaking of contenders, who's the next one?
Yeah. So next one is Smash or pass.
Ooh.
Coach is Pointy with Underworld Dungeons.
Oh, goodness.
Underworld Dungeons is, if I had to say a Pointy was known for a team, they're probably the same. Interesting team, to say the least. Not particularly one of the strongest teams, but can certainly be one of the most annoying teams.
Yeah, and in Bloodbowl 2, they didn't take away the Snutling ability, if I remember correctly,
They didn't know.
that Pointy is known for using and utilizing in his team. So
Yeah,
that's really going to be a hindrance. Even though they're strength one, those little buggers are a pain in the butt to get down.
they are. However, that being said, he has no Snotlings in his team.
Oh my gosh, I haven't even seen that. I didn't even, hold on a second here.
Yeah,
Nope, I
so
missed it.
he's got a Warpstone Troll and two Skaven linemen, two Skaven Blitzers, two Skaven Throwers, which is not something I would have expected, being at 70k each. And then he's got 2, 4, 6, 7, by the looks of it, 6 or 7 goblins. Goblins being slightly higher in strength, being strength 2. All his team's pretty quick. He's got an average movement of between 6 and 7. So, yeah. 2 heroes, 1 apothecary. Interesting team.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's Pointy knows what he's doing with the Underworld Denizens, that's for
Oh,
sure.
definitely.
Um, and it is interesting that if I remember correctly, is it Underworld Denizens that get to have the choice to throw up 3 big guys on a team,
Uh,
or is that Chaos Renegade?
Chaos Renegades. I don't know. I don't really know Underworld Denzians that well, to be fair. So, um, I think it's something that I would have to look into a little bit more, maybe for the next run, share, newscast.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, we got to do little deep dives into to each team and potentially talk to the coaches and see where we can pick their brain and maybe figure out which direction they're going with it, without giving too much away, obviously.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I
yeah.
mean, Pointy, like I said, and you've mentioned before, knows what he's doing. So, if there's going to be no Snotlings on this team, then he knows what he's up to. He's
It
going to try
does.
something different and surprise everybody.
It does.
So, who do we have next?
Next on the roster is a team called Murderlogs, with the coach being Banshee,
Oh, a
which is
local favorite for the Canadians.
which is also under the Lizardmen team.
Ooh, spicy.
Apparently, something is lurking below.
Ooh.
So she's gone for Croxigar, 1, 2, 3, 4 sauruses, and it looks like 6 skinks.
Okay.
She's
Okay.
gone for higher movement. 2 team heroes, 1 apothecary, 1 fan factor. So a little less on the hard hitting front line, but definitely more maneuverability on that back line.
Yeah, I mean that apothecary is definitely going to be big things.
Yeah,
If for whatever reason the Croxigar or even those precious sources at this stage happen to go down, even a slightest chance of saving something that's it's that costly is going to be huge. So something
yeah,
that when the time comes where Foxy and Banshee go head to head, it's going to be really muscle versus muscle is apothecary or without apothecary, depending on what stage they
yeah,
play, going to make the difference of the matchup.
yeah, exactly. Um, the biggest thing I worry about with Banshee's team is purely down to the fact that she only starting with 4 services. Um, because I mean they are 80k each. However, she did put 1 in fan factor, so that does mean that she has got a bit better chance at rebuilding some of that money to be able to buy future players. So it's just hopefully, fingers crossed, for her, she's able to get those early coinage in, so she's able to get the players that she needs, and hopefully a few skills on those sources. So it's, I mean, the skinks. The movement 8 fast players. They're not particularly strong, but with dodge skills on all of them, they're not easy to set down.
All it takes is for her to get like maybe even a catch on one, a sidestep on another,
Yeah,
and it's going to make very, very hard for somebody to really take one of those skinks down.
yeah, it is. Yes, absolutely. So, but yeah, Banshee's been with us since the first season. So
Yeah, an upcoming coach actually. You know, she's done really, really well with her previous iterations, especially the holiday season one that we did. She did quite well.
yeah, she did. She did very well. Next team up is Terminator, which is also known as Rosie, with the Dowel Drillers Wood Elf team. Um, Not a team that I expected him to go for this season. I fully expected him to go with Skaven.
Oh yeah, I think he even has a tattoo on his left butt cheek that's of a Skaven.
But this
I
time
don't tell
he's
me how I
going with
know
Wood
that though.
Elves. Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
So interesting choice. Maybe last season you got fed up with his team not being able to pick the ball up and pass it, so he's gone with a team that can pick the ball up and pass it. He has 2 catches, a thrower, 2 war dancers, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 linemen.
Oof.
1 reroll, 1 apothecary, 1 cheerleader, 1 coach assistant.
Now I gotta say, those war dancers are not only very costly, but very vicious on the pitch.
Yeah, very
I
much so.
mean, they are forced to be reckoned with. They're kind of like glass cannons to a degree, but man, if he can get those maneuvers off that Wood Elves are known for, it's
Yeah.
going to be pretty brutal in the first couple of games.
Well, they're one of the few players in the game that are starting blodgers. They start with both block and dodge. They also have another skill, which is leap. So that does allow him
Oh
to
yeah,
leap over. And his catches have obviously catch, dodge, and sprint. So movement 8 with sprint mean they can effectively move 11.
that's what half a pitch,
Yeah.
roughly.
With some clever manoeuvring, one-time touchdowns quite easy.
That is insane. Now, why do you think he chose Wood Elves though? Like I know that we said that maybe he got frustrated with his rats, but Wood Elves? Is it for the
Yeah,
passing game?
I think that's a question we'll have to ask him because I honestly do not know why he's going what else. But
He went from chewing on cheese to chewing on wood. I don't quite
yeah, yeah.
understand what the. Maybe
Um,
he wanted something harder, you know?
It's something we
No.
need to go back and look at. Is we haven't looked at the actual stadium names for some of these teams because some of the names are pretty funny, but we'll just quickly run back over that afterwards.
Okay.
So, but
Sounds
yeah, I
good.
could see this being one of the top teams contender wise, as long as Rosie keep away from the injuries. Because
Yeah.
Wood Elves do tend to get injured quite easy. Um, but having said that, yeah, still armor value 7, which is about the same as my team, but I don't know, they just seem to get injured more.
Yeah, he's also a seasoned player, and if he's used to playing rats with their fragility,
Yeah,
then I think that this might be a good fit for him for the season.
absolutely. Absolutely. Next up, we have my daughter's team, who was runner up in the second season.
Yeah, talk about coming out of the woodwork with some massive, massive Jungas. I mean,
But
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not her. I'm talking about her team. You know, yeah, I can't say balls because I mean, obviously they don't have any. You
Yeah.
know,
But
or
coach
do.
coach named Yavana and Goralina Panthers. Um,
Ooh, spicy.
uh, the team motto leaves something a bit to be desired, but the pitch is right where the centre of pitches. Um,
Oh my God. Okay. Comes from your loins. Let's keep going.
um, so she's gone with Amazons again for the second time, second season winning for her. Obviously, Amazons really fared well for the first season she played. She did, like I said, she came second in the league, and she was really close to pinching it. Um, so she's gone with four blitzes or with block and dodge. Another player that's one of the few that is starting block and dodge in the whole of Blood Bowl. She's got a catcher, a thrower, and then 2 for 6 line women. 2 heroes, 1 apothecary, 1 cheerleader, and 4 vampire.
Oh man. I mean, Amazons, you've told me this before in the past. My wife even played Amazons at one time. And they are brutal. They might be ladies, but man, they will show you who means business. And she
Absolutely.
picked a good team.
Yeah, the Amazons, the seam weak, the seam slow because the stats are very average. You know, movement 6, strength 3, agility 3, armor value 7. But trying to get them down and stay down with all that dodge, because literally every player has dodge in the team. Um,
Yeah.
and they've got access to general skills as a primary, so the first skills they can get is block, so you can essentially make every player in the team a bludger.
I mean, that's crazy. Almost like Norse?
Yeah, no. Not all Norse can be the bludgers. But she's
Yeah,
got 4 fan factor, so she's really capitalising on a mistake from the season before. Um, Making sure that she has the money to replace players. You know, because 4 fan factors to start off with, she's going to be getting that money early on, so she's going to be able to replace any players should she lose them if they do become a little bit too squishy. But another strong contender. To be honest, I think I can't see any weak teams so far. So,
no, very strong choices.
mm,
Very safe choices to some, but very
yeah,
strong choices.
yeah, absolutely. And we'll come back to that one. We'll do man and your teams last. And
Fair enough.
the last of the teams that aren't talking here is Coach David Fox, or Dark as we all know him.
Oh, Dark. Love him to pieces.
Team named Drinkers of Blood, vampire team.
Everybody needs a good drink here and there.
Mm. So we have 11 thralls, 3 vampires, 3 team heroes, no apothecary, 2 fan factor, which is good because he's gonna need that money early on with the vampires costing 110k each. An interesting choice.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen vampires once before that we played against. Um, and Dark's known for going dark.
Yeah.
He likes his chaos. He likes his vampires. It seems he's also kind of newer to the game, so when it comes down to positionals and things like that, it's more of a let's have fun, bash what we can, and whatnot, and that's part of the sport too. And I commend him for it.
Mm.
And this team that he's chosen, I would have maybe liked to see a little bit more vampires, just because I'm a vampire boy at heart anyway. But with those extra positionals, if by chance something either gets taken out or a vampire gets a little extra thirsty than he should, he
Yeah.
still has some backup. So it's not a bad plan.
Yeah, exactly. I'm probably the same as you. I would like to see maybe an extra 1 or 2 vampires, but 110k, I can fully understand why he hasn't. Yeah, they're not a cheap player. They are an expensive player. The only downside that I see with vampire teams is the fact that thralls have no starting skills. I know when you
Um,
look at like lizardmen teams, the sauruses don't have any starting skills, but the difference being is the skinks have really good starting skills with the dodge and stuff like that. So it's just whether it depends on how he plays them as well. Because if he plays like the thralls being cannon fodder or blood fodder, you know, um, and he relies heavily on his vampires. I mean, vampires do have hypnotic gears, so they can take control of your team.
what happens to be the strength of the vampire versus the lineman?
Well, the vampires strength 4, all of them for starters.
Well, that's
Um,
good. That's good.
yeah, so they've got really good agility because the agility is a 4 as well. As in Blood Bowl 2, the numbers, the higher the number, the better. Where in Blood Bowl 3, it's done by the lower, so like the pluses, is to swap it around. So they've got better armor value 8. Still not fantastic. All the players are still movement 6. But having that strength 4 and agility 4 means they're going to be a lot better at picking the ball up. Probably on, I'd want to say a 2 plus to pick the ball up rather than a 3 plus.
Oof.
Um, so a bit more like elves teams in that way. Strength 4 being really good. They're going to be hitting quite a lot of players on 2 block dice. You know, in some cases 3 potentially if they go against like a goblin. Um, the hardest thing Dark will have is if he comes up against a team that is a really strong front line. So somebody who's got a lot of strength 4 players or a lot of heavily skilled players and stuff. If he doesn't get the skills early on, he could find it a little difficult. But who knows? It's all in dice rolls sometimes. So
Yeah, I mean, he could definitely keep those pretty boy vampires in the back and let the thralls do all the work up front and just mosey on up the field,
mm,
drink a little blood on the way to the touchdown line. So, I mean,
yeah,
it's he's got a lot of extras. So, I mean,
mm,
all it takes is for either a touchdown to happen or even the half. And he's going to get some players back on the pitch to kind of help him out and re-bolster his forces. So
yeah,
it's
definitely.
it's something that I would keep an eye out on also a lot of fouling because
Mm,
that would help him out a ton in
yeah,
this situation as well.
yeah. The good thing to remember is in Blood Bowl 2, he works for both pass and catch. So picking up the ball, dodging, passing, catching, all that lot. The agility works is the one number for all of it. Football 3, obviously we have separated. We've got the agility and then we've got the passing skill, which is separate. Sometimes be different. So having having it all in one box is 4 means it's going to be passing short passes on 2 pluses, potentially I believe off the top of my head, picking the ball up, dodging. Most of it's going to be 2 pluses. It's going to be very much like an elf team, but vampire form. So yeah, man.
If you don't mind, before we get into our teams, um, now I know that this is basically uh, Blood Bowl 2, and I know it's been out for a really hot minute. We're talking 2015. Now the reason behind it is something that we joined together in our Discord about playing Blood Bowl 2 instead of Blood Bowl 3, if
Yeah.
y'all are wondering. Wolfie, would you like to embellish on that for us?
Yeah, so when we started off with Blood Bowl 2, Blood Bowl 3 wasn't actually out. It was due to come out, but it wasn't actually out. And even when Blood Bowl 3 came out, we didn't make that switch because it only started with so many teams. Blood Bowl 2, you've got the full roster. Well, at least a lot more of a roster than what's currently available in Blood Bowl 3. Although I think Blood Bowl 3 might be slowly catching up now. But the difference was it was cheaper to get the game. It was easier for a lot of us because a lot of us already had it. And yeah, even now, I still sometimes like to go back to Blood Bowl 2 when I still enjoy it because it just seems to be a slightly simpler rule set.
Yeah. My thoughts on Blood Bowl 2 is that it gives you kind of that, in a way, nostalgia feel where it's not fully crispy details. You kind of get that retro feel
Mm-hmm.
when you look at it. Um, as you mentioned, not all the teams are available.
Yep.
And if GW on the tabletop side doesn't produce some of these older teams, like Kemri, for example, they may not even come into existence in for Blood Bowl 3.
Yeah,
Just an
that's very
idea.
true. Yeah.
So having those different teams, those iconic teams, and is very nice. And my last point is my son, he doesn't have the most powerful PC. He's honestly just running off of his CPU for his video card as well. So
Yeah.
playing Blood Bowl 2 is also a PC friendly style game where you don't have to worry about cranking everything back and
Yeah.
worrying about activity issues. 9 times out of 10, because it's been around so long, not it's probably got most of the bugs, if not all the bugs, situated.
Yeah, that's very true. And my daughter has the same problem as your son. They're having like a Blood Bowl 3. It's a lot more intensive on your PC. And her PC is the same as your son's. Like it's a lot. It's more for the schoolwork. It's not really a gaming setup or anything. So it's just yeah, it's a lot easier to play this game. It's one of the few games that she does play. So yeah.
Awesome. We're glad to have her because
Mm.
she's one of the newest green
Yes,
green
she is. Yeah.
ball, green horn. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Right. Who should we go for first, Steve?
I think we should go for you because I'm just the looks and the funny. You're all about the money. So let's go with that.
Okay, so we'll go with my team, which is the Noskin Gigolos. Um,
Hmm.
team motto, helicopter, helicopter.
Now I gotta say, nobody is surprised by this. If you know Wolfie, he lives and breathes Norse. I mean, he probably even reads the Norse Viking-esque newspaper when he's sitting on the crapper. You know what I'm saying? So when Blood Bowl 3 produced the Norse for the new team that came out just recently, we're here towards the end of February, so it's been out for a little while, but you went ham on that. So, I
Yep.
mean, it's no surprise that you went with Blood Bowl 2 version of Norse, but I mean, honestly, tell me about the team. What do you got in your list?
So I think I need to explain some of the players' names. Obviously, Gigolos be from the film Juice Bigelow. So I had
Really,
to,
Wolfie?
I had to go,
Really?
I had to go down that route. So obviously, Juice Bigelow, if anybody knows who that is an ugly dude that is basically a male prostitute, shall we say. Um, and so, of course, my Yeti had to be Juice Bigelow. Um, so, yeah. So, we've got one Yeti,
Oh,
two Oathburners, two Berserkers, one Runner, and two, four, five linemen with two rerolls. No apothecary. I thought I put an apothecary
ooh, ooh, no apothecary for Norse, Wolfie?
in. Yeah. And zero fan factor. I'm going spicy.
Yeah, you're going broke and broken apparently. Like it just I mean, but then again, you got all that block, so
Yeah, a lot of block, a lot of frenzy. Um, Obviously, you've got what 5 plays with frenzies. You've got 5, 6, 7, 8 plays with block. Um, Even a play with dauntless. Um, you've got jump up skills on my berserkers. What's not to like?
now I do have to bring this up because just in case there's somebody new that's watching and maybe some of our newer players that may need a refresh on this. Um, if I'm not mistaken, your Yeti has a almost like a barrier
It does,
of
yes.
no fly zone type of thing. So could you describe that real quick for us?
Yeah, so the skills for the Yeti, he has claws, which is obviously a really good skill because any player with Nama value of 8 plus, he automatically breaks. So that's the best skill that he's really got on there, apart from the obvious learner, which most big guys have. The next skill that you see is Disturbing Presence. So he has a box area around him, which is usually about 9 squares. Um, what that means is anybody that tries to do a pass, pick up ball in that area of effect, they have a negative on them. Um, I'll just read it up here. So the stable presence. So any player must subtract 1 from the d6 when they pass, intercept, or catch. So it's not for picking up the ball. Sorry, I apologise. So it's a pass, intercept, or catch in his area. Um, so it says the presence within 3 squares of him. So it's 3 squares, but if you imagine in middle, and you go 3 squares up, 3 squares that way, 3 squares, it's effectively 9 squares going round.
Yeah.
Um, so it's a really good skill. Obviously, frenzy being probably one of my favourite skills. Because frenzy allows you to on a block or a blitz, you can do a hit. If you only get push or whatever, you get to do another hit. You get to do it twice. Really good for surfing players off pitches. But can have a downside in the sense of if you're not careful, you can land yourself in trouble. Um, you just gotta know what you're doing. But even when you know what you're doing, you can still get caught out if you're not paying attention. So, um, he also has the wild animal skill, which is like most big guys, you get like really stupid, burnhead, stuff like that. He's got the wild animal. So if he, but how wild animal works, it works in the same way as a minotaur does. Um, so as long as he's doing a block or a blitz, it doesn't matter if anybody's around him or not. It's 2+ to activate. If he's just moving, it's a 4+ essentially. So yeah, it's you've got to it's to keep him in the action all the time. Keep him blocking, keep him blitzing, and so on. The biggest downside I find with that one is if he's knocked down and you're not standing him up to do a blitz because you need to do the blitz with a different player. A lot of the time he won't get back up. He'll stay on the floor. So yeah,
Now,
it's slight caveat.
is he one of those big guys that's kind of like the trolls where a troll works a lot better because a loner to have a friend beside him, or does that make any type of
No,
consequence
it doesn't
if
actually make
somebody's
any
beside him or not?
difference. Yeah, it doesn't make any difference. The troll, as long as you have a player next to him, it automatically drops him from a 4+ to a 2+.
Ah, okay.
To activate. So have a goblin or an orc or something else next to the troll. A troll's world changes from 4+ to a 2+. Urgers, they're automatically 2+s regardless anyway. But with the Yeti, the 2+ is only literally when they do a block or a blitz. If they're doing just a move, it's a 4+. It doesn't matter if anybody's near him or not. So it's a little bit of a downside, but
that's one thing that we didn't discuss with Pointy's team because he has a red ogre, doesn't he?
he does, yes. I believe,
Which has
or
a
was it a
different
troll?
type of ability.
It might have been a troll.
I don't know. It might have been a troll.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll have to
So yeah,
flip through the
so
thing.
I've
I
got
mean,
some
what's the point of
interesting
having
players'
informed
names.
notes anyway?
Got some interesting players' names. I'm not gonna go for 'em.
Yeah, you'll just have to watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll probably call out the names and yeah, you'll get a chuckle then. But right now, we'll just keep
Yeah.
secret to keep safe.
yeah. So yeah, last team we have Skeleton Steamer with
What? It's the inbred mountain men. Why can't you say that?
How did you say it? Your
I mean,
sister
what
is
better
your wife
way?
and your cousin, Steve?
Yeah, yeah. Why is this such a hard thing? Everybody keeps calling me a southern hillbilly and everything like that. So, I mean, why not? My sister is my wife and my cousin. I mean, they keep telling me that my tree doesn't fork and everything, so might as well play with it, you know?
Sweet Home Alabama vibes, eh?
All right, so the lineup. The lineup is tasty, I think. What do you think, Wolf? I mean, I've got me a nice little my little screenshot up right here, so I can actually see what's going on. So we got an ogre because you have to have a big guy. I mean, it is really difficult to play any of these teams, especially if they do have access to a big guy. And seeing as most people do have a big guy, having a big guy is going to be a nice one-on-one type of show with that. That's where I was going with that. Two blitzers, it's not the standard 4, but it's enough for me to get some mobility with movement 8 and to have that block feature on them. One thrower. Enough said. I mean, the team is pretty versatile, so if in a pinch I need somebody to get the ball or to even to throw the ball downfield, then I have a throw to do so. Two catchers. They're there to catch the ball, pick up the ball, run as far as they can at movement 8 as well. Still pretty damn quick. I'm sorry, wrong movement. Blitzers are 7.
Yeah.
Catchers are 8. Sorry.
Yes.
I was looking at armor value, not movement. And then I've got that's 2, 4, 5 linemen that will hopefully help hold the line while my more expensive players and do what they're supposed to. 3 re-rolls because I suck terribly. Wolfie, you've seen me roll stuff in the past. Do you disagree with my 3 re-roll situation here?
No, I don't. Although I will say, last season your luck with the rolls had improved.
Moving on. One apothecary. One apothecary because we are just humans. We're like the basic biatch on the bitch. Pitch. Not the bitch, not the pitch. And then we got 3 fan factor to hopefully bolster some of those coins like a few of the other teammates or coaches have done to potentially replace people that are probably going to get brutally murdered. But yeah, I mean, I figured why not do humans because I've done just about everything else. I've done orcs, I've done halflings, I've done a few wild things. I'd like to be that wild card. So I figured humans is a kind of basic bitch, but why not? Why not have a little bit of everything?
Yeah, I don't blame you actually, because you've got what is known as the most versatile team in Blood Bowl. You know, because you've got options to essentially you can do a bit of bash, you can do a bit of pass, you can do a bit of catch. Your linemen, although they are basic with no skills, the armor value is not that bad with armor value 8, movement 6, 50k each. They're not massively expensive either. And if you can get 6 SPP on them, ban a bit of block on there or a bit of guard, they're a really, really good front line to help you all out. Your catchers are some of the fastest players in the game,
Mm.
alongside the likes of like some of the Elven teams, the Skaven teams, and so on. There isn't a real lot of teams that have movement 8 or higher. In
Yeah,
fact, the
yeah.
Skaven gutter runners are the only ones that actually have movement 9. Um, all the others are usually around 7, 6 movements. So having movement 8 gives you that little bit of extra speed. Having catch and dodge, really good. And I know your catchers do have access to general, so you can make them blodgers quite early on as well.
Ooh, ooh,
Um,
ooh,
Biggest
tasty.
downside with catchers is obviously the strength, because the strength is a drop down to a strength 2. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but keep them a bit more protected rather than just leaving them out on their own, and you've got a chance of keeping it to one die block against you, on the blitz. If you get block on them, you know, um, and another good skill, Steve, is probably have sure hands on them as well.
Mm.
The reason why I say that is because if you have sure hands and you get blitzed with strip ball does not work.
Yeah, but are they really going to be having the ball that often, though? That's my concern. I'd be more concerned about like the catchers
That's
having
what
sure hands
that's
versus.
what I mean. Catchers having sure hands.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, okay. I'm sorry. For whatever reason, I had linemen still in my.
yeah. No, your catchers. So if you get block and sure hands on your catchers, the only thing that's going to make them lose that ball is a straight on pow.
Mm.
Because
That's
strip ball, a push, if you don't have sure hands, it takes the ball off them. So if you get sure hands, it cancels that off.
cool.
Yeah. Or tackle.
Yeah.
Tackle might help. So dead man might be a bit of an issue for you with all that block and tackle he's got.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All
But
right. Well, I mean, we'll see how things go. One thing before we look into the stadiums, do you mind? Let's take a look at the team value of like the all across the board here, because
yeah,
not everybody went all the way up to the 1 mil mark.
no. So we have two teams that didn't go all the way to the full 1 mil. Deadman at 980 and Rizzy at 980. Everyone else
Mm.
hit the 1 mil mark.
So that's already a free coach or cheerleader that they're going to be able to get on the start of the game.
Yeah.
That could be the difference of crowds being upset or potentially getting free rerolls. I mean, that's pretty huge.
Yeah. Exactly. So, you want to look at the stadiums?
Yeah, we'll just go in order from top to bottom.
All right. So, Deadpin Team Stadium is death.
Of course it is. My son is so original, so creative. Love you, bud, but geez.
My stadium, I'll leave it till last. Deadman Stadium, we have Murder Capital.
Yeah, because he did a lot of kills during our holiday game.
So
So
we've
that
got
makes
Death
sense.
and Murder Capital so far. Then we have my son's Cold Ones team with Temple of Itza.
It must be a
I don't know if
lizard man
that's how you
thing.
pronounce it, but that's how I'm pronouncing it. So that's how it's getting called.
Oh,
So he's a lizardman god. I do know that much. So yeah, kind of makes sense why I start
okay.
with that.
Thematic.
Pointy's stadium is Swipe Left Arena.
Wait, what?
Swipe Left Arena.
Are we talking about like the app that?
Yeah, like this, Steve.
Oh my God!
Like this, Steve.
Some of these people are worse than I thought. I thought I was gonna be the bad one.
Like
and
this.
I don't hear your name, and I hit.
Like this
This is
thing.
bad.
Swipe left.
Fucking erased me. You passed on me. You true gigolo.
We've got Banshees Stadium.
Put me back. I'm supposed to be back touching the flag. Put me.
Bloodbowl for Banshees.
A what?
Bloodbowl.
No, not towards the TV.
That way.
Yeah, you done flicked me left so damn hard we ain't even right anymore.
There you go. That's where you was.
Gee, thank you. Thank you. It feels comfortable being back where I'm supposed to be. Gee. Yeah.
So we have Bloodbowl.
Whoa.
Which kind of goes with Medalogs, I suppose. Got to keep it clean.
Better keep it safe.
Yeah. Rosie's Dowel Drillers Stadium is Twigloo.
Twig glue.
No, Twigloo.
Oh my god! We are not dirty old men. We're just really dumb old men. That's what we are. Jeez.
One of this, I think we've got to tell you. One of the things we made a specification of try and keep your team funny. So add some of the funny. So that's why a lot of the players have put in some quite questionable names. You give them a little bit of a stick and come up with Twigloo.
Oh my god! I'm wearing a cup and a chastity belt and a magical protection around my waist and wiener at all times.
Yeah. Next up is my daughters. Now, I apologise to the viewers first and foremost because this is guaranteed to be bad. Goralina Panthers Stadium is... Oh, what? Themyscira.
What the hell is that? Is that like some sort of code for thigh game?
I'm guessing that's something to do with lesbianism or something like that.
Well, it's a bunch of ladies.
I'm surprised.
Next.
I'm surprised you didn't call it Heat.
Heat.
Yeah. Like the saying bitches on Heat.
No, I don't know any of that shit. I'm married. I don't have to worry about it. Fuck's sakes. We could have used that a while ago with lube, remember?
And next is Dark's team with Drinkers of Blood. His stadium is Stadium of the Blood. Keep it simple.
On brand.
So, next up, do we do Steve's first?
I'll do mine first, yeah.
Yeah. So, the Inbred Mountain Men's... You're going to try and say that 3 times fast without stumbling.
Inbred Mountain Men.
Yeah. Your stadium is called... The Non-Forking Tree.
Yeah, baby. I mean, that's perfect. I think it works out quite nice.
I don't even know why I'm shocked at that, because I think mine's just as bad.
Well, bring it up. Let's go.
So the North Contingent Stadium is, keeping it in true fashion, the Big G Hub.
I ain't gay.
We are going to get demonetized so fast. We're not even going to have a YouTube channel before it even starts. We're screwed.
Oh, yeah.
Put in your donations now, because this channel might not be around anymore.
One episode, that's it, we're done.
Yeah. We'll have to keep changing the name. on the YouTube channel just to stay ahead of the algorithm. And so, oh god, really? Holy bananas!
So that is the full roundup of the teams and the rosters and the stadium names. Shall we have a look at the fixtures?
Yeah, I mean, we're all here now. We've all got an understanding of who's bringing what to the table. Now we need to know who's fighting who at the table.
So, first game is the Nos Conjigglers versus Drinkers of Blood.
You would be the first one at the top of. Look at this prima donna. Look at this prima donna. Jesus Christ. Take your shit and go somewhere, Mr. Blocks Anonymous.
I can't. I'm not the one that's got a shit-filled stadium. I've got to leave that to Perth Banshee and Mersey.
Next!
So next on the thing is most kills in the season versus the Deadfin team.
Ooh.
That's going to be a really bashy game.
Yeah. It's kind of a David meet Goliath kind of situation where we have a very seasoned player versus a very new player. So
yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
And I'm out of.
Next one is the Cold Ones versus the Inbred Mountain Men. And when you fight an Inbred Mountain Men, you got to have a cold one, haven't you?
I mean, yeah, if it ain't our beer, it's going to be our balls, that's for sure. So,
and then next up, we have Smash or Pass.
Swipe left.
Yes, swipe left. Versus Goralina Panthers.
Oh, man. That is going to be a very heated game. I mean, that's kind of like. You're talking about like Lady Fun Time versus Lady Pump Up Time. I was going to say Pump Time, but then it didn't make sense in my head. I want to make sure that I didn't get more demonetization on our list.
I mean, you're going to have to be careful because if he swipes left too much, you just don't know how much they'll get angry.
That's true. Babes with biceps.
Yeah. And the last one is Medalogs versus the Dow Drillers. It's the toilet bowl of the Contingent Bowl.
It's so gross. It's so gross. I mean, really? Like, the Lube Stadium isn't bad enough, but then it's the toilet bowl, and I mean, you're just waiting for a slip and slide.
Yeah. There's going to be, let's just say, a lot of brown stains as well as red stains on that pitch, I think, in that game.
Woo! I'm so glad they're our friends, or else we'd be killed. Like, we just might. We got to play against them eventually. So.
Yeah, true. But yeah, so that's the roundup. Anything else you'd like to add, Steve?
Yeah. I think as far as dates go, we're still in the works of doing that on our Discord. So as soon as we get that all situated, I think we're giving them about a week to get everything sorted and whatnot, so that we can get things rolling. You know, it's trying to have fun, but also understand the factors of life of jobs or children or things of that nature. But we did put some restrictions which actually, Wolfie, we'll have to bring up on next episode of the rules that we're going to have in place for the CBL League.
Yeah, if you actually bear with me, I can bring them up.
Oh, we're going to do this all in one swing. Yeah.
So I'll read the rules out, and the rules just go put them up here. And this season we will have slightly new layout along with rules for everyone to help keep the league running smoothly, with the aim of fun for everyone. We'll be adding some additional rules to this league moving forward, such as number one, we have strict 1 week organise and play system, which will run Sunday through Sunday. If games are not organised and played within this time frame without good reason, a decision will be made to forfeit awarded to the player that was deemed available to play. Exceptions can be made in case of family emergencies, etc. But this will only be given a further week maximum. This to help keep the league on track and running smoothly. I know it sounds a bit harsh, but it's just there for continuity, keep it running, keep everybody engaged, because we found one of our others that we did, we let it go on, and people were starting to fizzle out. They'd had enough by that point, and there was waiting two big gaps in between games. So that's why we've done that way.
Yeah, but we also made it to where we could also make the content that we're showing you guys here to be produced and edited and put up on YouTube so that y'all can enjoy it. Hopefully, we have a schedule in mind, but we're not going to disclose that just yet. We just want to try to get a couple of games underneath our belt, get everything organized, I would say, and then that way we can see how things are rolling in the beginning, which it always runs better in the beginning than it does the end. So
yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
So the second part to number one, in the event of a forfeit being awarded, the player will be given 6 SPP plus MVP of 4 SPP in a similar way to a concede, as well as a 2-0 win. In the unlikely event that both players are unable to play and it is agreed by both parties, a draw may also be given to both parties. In this event, each player will receive 3 SPP for MVP, which is the player man of the match sort of thing, and 4 SPP for that, and the game logged as a 1-1 draw. That has to be agreed by both players. If they're both unable to come to some agreement because something's happened on both sides, they can both agree that they'll just do a draw, and then we'll award 3 SPP each for the draw, and then they'll get one player with an MVP of 4 SPP. So essentially they'll get 7 SPP still. So it means nobody's losing out when because it's hard enough to get SPP sometimes, and losing out that way is not very nice. So
it's hard enough to get games anyway, just lives.
Yeah.
All right, well, number 2, respect and courtesy. We will not tolerate any abusive behavior towards other players, as we also have younger people playing in our leagues. We ask that we are mindful of our language and content of our subjects. This also applies to if someone is streaming the game live through Twitch or similar streaming media. Failure to do so will result in a warning first, and then if it is repeated, will result in a ban from the league. Now, this is something that we're all adults here for the most part. There's a couple kids, but we should be able to mind our P's and Q's. If it gets a little bit too crazy, apologies, things of that nature, bring it back down. But long and short is that we just want it to be fun for everybody, the best possible. So
just like to add to that as well, we haven't had a issue with this at all before. So it's not something that we've come across and it's caused it to make this rule because something's already happened before. That's not the case. It's just purely because we just wanted to have something in place so that if it does arise, the rule's already there, and we can direct them to rule number 2 states that we don't accept abusive behavior. Now this is caveat to banter. Banter is different. Banter, you can we get it. Well, adults, swear words happen. Team names clearly could be seen as abuse, I suppose, but but in general, most of us know how to have a laugh. We don't take things too seriously. Um, so that we do have a leniency with banter and stuff like that. But if there are multiple complaints about a player being abusive towards someone else and it's been taken out of context of banter, that's when that rule will come into play. Right, guys. So, rule number 3: maximum 1K TV for each team. No added skills are allowed in the initial setup. This rule is because we click the custom box at the bottom, so that when it comes to future seasons, if we need to alter like TV value to maybe lower it to keep everyone balanced or up it or whatever, depending on the players that keep playing or more get added. It's just to basically give us that head start to make things easier for future seasons. So because we do that, we've got to keep it more strict on you don't get any starting skills and stuff like that.
Yeah. Um, Number 4, this league will require players to register a new team at 1K TV, but also create it as a custom team, which is what we were discussing. Teams are to be set up with the custom box ticked and are to be verified by admin that they are legal and correct before ticket is sent out. This isn't a trust issue. This is more so to make sure that everything was done properly and that if there were any type of hiccups or mistakes, including when it comes to um, any potential issues with SPP skills, things like
Yeah,
that. Like Wolfie said, that we can adjust it appropriately and keep things moving.
yeah,
So,
yeah, exactly. Um,
this, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, no, no, you've got your second part.
Yeah, I didn't see that till. I read the rules anyway. Uh, this so that the subsequent season alterations to the teams are easier to manage, and some teams may be reduced in TV or increased in TV to help keep the balance for the future season. So basically, what we just said. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So number 5, aging of players will also be in effect. As I understand it, your team players will age 1 year for every 8 games played. This is to give another dynamic further down the road. Say you have a really skilled player, but he's getting to retirement age, you need to recruit or build up another player in his place. But in some cases, you will have to wait until that player either retires or you sack him. Because once they get to around, I believe it's 32 years of age, um, they have a percentage of possibility of retiring. And then the following year, if they haven't retired, then they will get even a higher percentage, and eventually it'll get to a point where they'll just retire. Period. Um, it's also to stop teams who get exceptionally high skillful players and being able to remain at the top with those skillful players all the time consistently. It adds another line of potential balance back into the league. So it gives you the teams, maybe you get skillful players, that players get retired, drops them down a little bit, and keeps the balance back in.
yeah, it also it's a lot of fun seeing a player grow too. So
Yeah,
when that the player either dies, is injured and replaced, is um like you said, has retired, whatever the case may be, um, everybody has that thrill and that enjoyment of getting that new player a chance to shine
yeah,
and continuing the level up. Everybody loves experience.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Plus the fact, like the first season we did when you had your art team, we got
oh,
exceptionally attached to your arc thrower, Flinny Thinny. Um,
oh, Flingy.
just an incredible arc thrower, but that was
He's
after
he's
one season.
his name's tattooed on my butt cheek. I fling things too. I just don't fling pigskins as good as he did. I fling other things. Um, Mercy. All right, so are we ready for number 6?
Yep.
Okay, so for non-streamers, games can be played and streamed via the CBL chat room, which is in our Discord. However, please be aware that some players may not feel comfortable with talking, which is fine. Like some people just maybe they're having a bad day,
Yeah.
maybe that they're too shy, whatever the case may be. It's supposed to be I hate using the word safe space, but a safer place for
Mm.
you to be comfortable while you're playing.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
um,
exactly.
it's
It's
always up to you if you want to talk or not. That's totally option.
number 7. It follows on from one of our earlier ones, which is the banter. This is obviously expected, but overall, let's have fun. Hopefully, some good games. Please remember, it's about building a community and not a serious tournament. The only thing you win is bragging rights. That is, we're not like the official NAF tournaments or anything like that. It's just literally a bunch of us getting together, having a bit of a laugh, and just enjoying playing some Blood Bowl once or twice a week. I
Right.
mean, our
This
games
is
are only
like
once a week, but you know,
if you're looking for like the Jimmies, the Andys, the percentages, the Bonehead podcast kind of thing, this probably isn't going to be your channel.
no,
I mean, we greatly admire those individuals that do this on either daily, weekly, monthly basis that are very knowledgeable, that have math skills beyond our comprehension because we're just simpletons, I mean, so I am. Um, it's one of those things where this is literally when it says um, it's not a serious tournament. It literally is. I wish we would have put that in bold. To be honest with you,
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
it's literally just run and gun, have fun, see what sticks to the wall.
yeah,
I mean, we've got logs and lube and
yeah,
hillbillies. I mean, if that doesn't tell you we're not taking shit seriously,
yeah.
then I don't know what is. So,
All the bells and whistles, huh?
oh yeah, and then follow it up with a gigolo.
Yeah. So, yeah, number 8.
All right, so teams, once these are picked, you will be stuck with that team until the end of the season. However, should you wish to change your team, you may do so with a new team, but they may hurt your chances of growing in the future, meaning that you can start fresh, but we're not giving you SPP and things like that
Exactly.
that you had on previous players. You're going to start at the bottom of the barrel, and the previous people that have had their teams longer
Mm.
with that SPP and skills they're going to keep them. They're going to
Yeah,
make your work a lot harder.
yeah, yeah. So it kind of gives you the incentive. It's going to be better in some cases to keep a team that might be performing fairly badly, because you will get better with the skills. But there are some cases where your team just gets absolutely obliterated. You might just be better off just saying, well, no, I'll just start with a fresh new team. You know, if you've lost half your team to deaths, then you know. Um, but it is going to be harder because obviously your players aren't going to have the SVP to have the skills. So you're going to be going up against more experienced teams. So it's a bit of a catch-22, I suppose. But we had to put it
Right.
in as an option because it's unfair not to, really.
Right. So I guess now we're on to number 9, huh?
Yeah, number 9. So screenshots of everyone's teams will be taken. We've already done that this season with all our teams, as you can see, because we've been showing them. Um, and that's to ensure no cheating is taking place and will be checked regularly. Um, Also, SPP can be used as normal throughout the season. Just remember the high cost of players in the team that may have an impact on your future seasons. Um, this is basically so if, say for argument's sake, you start off at 1k, you finish your season on 1500, but there are quite a few teams that are around 1200k at the start of the following season. Well, you've then got a decision to make because you've got to bring your TV value down or up theirs, depending on what we all agree. It could mean that you might need to either lose a player that maybe doesn't have skills, so you can keep a higher skilled player, or it might be the case of that some of the lower teams get extra funding to help boost them up to try and keep it balanced for the start of the next season. So that's the whole part of why we did the custom team box to make things easier to adjust.
Sweet.
Number 10.
Um, Number 10. So the final part is please be aware that no money is made from doing this league. It's all done for the community at the expense of our own time for fun. The admin will try our best to keep things running smoothly and in good fashion. All we ask is that you arrange your games in a good, timely fashion, and least of all, show up. I mean, that's the worst thing of all. We understand life happens, but if you constantly go, I can't make it, I can't make it, I can't make it, and you've put somebody else's plans on hold or things that they could have done,
Yeah,
we're just saying be respectful for everybody's
yeah,
time. Time's precious. I mean, we're playing stupid video games and talking on a podcast, to people that aren't even there yet. But but I mean, it's all in good fun, and
yeah,
so we're just trying to be a couple of old heads with some new blood and play a game that we love and have fun doing it.
yeah,
So just
exactly,
just be respectful.
exactly. So yeah, that's all the rules.
Oh
Um,
God, I feel like I just got done with an exam.
and
So
it does seem quite rule intensive, but I tried to keep it as short and sweet as possible. Um, we did discuss some of these going along anyway. Some of these rules have come from the leagues that we've done, so they're not all complete new rules. There are some that have already been there from the off, just been written out with a little bit more description to explain better than what we had done previously. um,
yeah,
so yeah, it seems like a lot, but there really isn't. It's all to do with
yeah.
fair play, have fun, and just play ball. But yeah, that's everything covered. We plan on doing a podcast once a week, like this. We're gonna do rundowns of the week's games, maybe some like star players if we feel there's any star players that have come up, like maybe someone who's bashed hell out of someone, or someone who's scored a lot of touchdowns, or we just think been some really cool fun players. And well, yeah, there's also you said about interviews as well, Steve.
Yeah, what we're going to do is, since we have this lovely studio that we're in and we're still learning the ins and outs of the setup for where we're doing it, because obviously you're in the UK, I'm in the US.
Mm,
It's not like we can go next door for a cup of sugar, for
yeah,
Christ's sakes. Um, but I think we're going to try and do something with our screen uh, there,
yep,
and
and also
when we have our
down there.
yeah, and then down here, not here, not me here. Let's just make sure this way.
Yeah, that way.
Le- right is my left or something.
Yeah,
That way. What we'll do is we'll have the team on the big screen essentially, and in the small screen we'll have our guest if they feel so inclined um, to talk about their team, and we'll talk about why you should watch the episode for when the interviews come.
yeah,
I don't want to give too much away. I
no,
want you
no,
to come back like popcorn.
yeah. So yeah, but that should do it, I think.
Um, yeah. So first and foremost, make sure that you like
Sure.
and subscribe because we're not really sure what we're doing, but we would really appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Helpful comments down below. That also helps the algorithm down there. We're two dumbasses that just want to have fun and hope that you enjoyed this. I know this one's a lengthy one, but after this it should be pretty much decent size, not long.
Mm.
Something that you can paint to if nothing else, or formulate your plans.
Yeah, 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 definitely. And also, one of the things that we have discussed, which may come down a bit further down the line, is if we, if potential of if there's like new team releases within Blood Bowl for tabletop stuff like that, we might do put it up in the middle here and just have a general chat about them as well. But that might come further down the line. Um, we've still got a iron out. We need to get this running smoothly first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not a bite off of like the Bonehead podcast because they're amazing people. Um, but we do like the hobby as the tabletop side as well as the electronic side, and we figure maybe we could give our own personal likes, dislikes of certain teams that are out there.
Yeah.
And we're not made of money. I mean, Wolfie, as you said, you've got kids, I've got kids and a wife, and I mean, honestly, and things until situations get better, it's not like we're made of money, and we don't expect any of you to be
Yeah.
made of money. So,
Yeah.
we're
But
just going to give our honest opinions.
yeah. Well, I'd say it would probably give a less knowledgeable opinion, if you
Yeah,
like,
probably more so on like
aesthetics and like just what a
yeah,
normal person would think looks cool. You know, I guess.
yeah,
Obviously, there will
yeah.
be some knowledge there because we are like complete stupid idiots. Although that
No,
might be debatable. But
I mean, I mean, we have this discussion a lot about how my ancestors were basically your family members that just went to a different continent, and I got dropped off and said, "Fuck you guys, we're
yeah,
staying here, leave us alone." So I mean, if we can't put this shit together right, then it's just we're screwed. You know,
but yeah.
we
So
we're just yeah. We can't even finish this damn thing. Uh, but
but until
yeah,
next time,
so let's
guys, have a good one, and we'll see you next time.